Okay, so, um, wow. You weren't kidding when you said you wanted to really dig into this whole unlimited visitors thing.
You could say that.
I mean, you sent me everything, literally, website copy, case studies, testimonials.
And don't forget those YouTube transcripts.
Yeah, yeah. Even YouTube video transcripts. I'm impressed, I have to say.
Well, it shows they want to give us all the info we need, I guess.
That's what we're here for,
Yeah.
to take it all apart, not just repeat the marketing stuff, but really see if this unlimited visitors thing, if it holds up, if their methods make sense, and most importantly, help the listener figure out if this is something they should actually consider, you know?
Right. Give them the tools to decide for themselves.
Exactly. So, where do we even begin? Like, what is unlimited visitors at its core?
Well, from what you've sent over, it seems pretty new.
Oh, yeah, just launched in January this year, 2024.
Founded by, wait, what was it? An entrepreneur with something like 15 years?
Yeah, over 15 years in online marketing,
Mm.
apparently.
Right, right. And it sounds like the story is they got fed up with how hard it was to get website traffic.
Yeah, they were trying all the usual SEO stuff, but, not getting the results they wanted. So they built this AI tool to write blog posts just for their own companies at first.
Interesting. So kind of a classic scratch your own itch situation.
And now they're like, hey, this thing works so well, let's sell it to everyone else.
But the million-dollar question is, does it really deliver on that promise?
They say their big thing is endless traffic.
Endless, huh?
And the way they claim to do it is through AI-generated blog content, which is supposed to attract all these organic visitors. And then they have tools to help you turn those visitors into customers.
So really leaning hard into the whole AI and automation angle.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing I noticed, they talk a lot about transparency and trust. It's like sprinkled throughout all their materials.
Yeah, that stood out to me too. Like they're trying to maybe preempt some of the skepticism people might have about a service like this.
Right, because endless traffic sounds, almost too good to be true.
Smart marketing, though.
Yeah.
By emphasizing those values up front, they're trying to position themselves as the good guys in a field that, let's be honest, has its fair share of shady operators.
And speaking of good things, they have this case study that really caught my
Oh
attention.
yeah, the Marion Chain case study.
Exactly. It's a service that uses blockchain for marriage, which is already pretty intriguing.
Yeah, very cutting edge.
But their results with unlimited visitors are what really stand out.
Went from like, what was it, 10 daily visitors to 400 in like 2
And in
months.
less than 2 months. And their organic search traffic supposedly jumped from 0 to over 95%.
Okay, so now we're talking. That's a pretty dramatic improvement.
It definitely makes you want to know more, right? But I think it's important to remember, case studies are basically marketing tools. They're designed to highlight the best case scenario.
Exactly. It's just one client, possibly handpicked to, show off the most impressive results.
Right. So while Marianne Chain's story might be totally legit, we have to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism.
We can't assume everyone will have the same experience, right?
Yeah,
We need to understand how they achieved those results, what specific tactics were used.
absolutely. So let's crack open the toolbox, so to speak, and see what unlimited visitors actually offers. What are the nuts and bolts of this whole AI-powered blog thing?
All right, so from what you've shared, it sounds like their AI is the workhorse, the one actually cranking out the content.
Daily content too, and not just a few paragraphs. We're talking like 1,000 to 3,000 words per article.
Wow, that's a lot of writing.
Right, and they do different types of content too, like informational pieces, news articles, all optimized for SEO, of course.
Oh, and they even handle the whole CMS and server setup, right?
Yeah, which can be a big hurdle for some people, so taking care of that technical stuff is definitely a plus.
It can be a real headache, so that's appealing for sure.
And it's not like they're just throwing a bunch of keywords at the AI and hoping for the best. They actually start with a pretty thorough SEO audit to figure out what your main keywords should be.
Like in the Marion Chain example, it would have been marriage, wedding, and blockchain.
Exactly. Once they have those primary keywords, their tool supposedly goes out and finds a ton of related terms, like more specific phrases.
So-called long-tail keywords, which are often less competitive but still attract targeted traffic.
It's like they're casting a wider net, trying to capture those smaller pockets of search volume.
Makes sense. Trying to get you traffic from multiple angles.
But, all this talk about AI can make it feel a bit impersonal, like where's the human touch?
Yeah, you don't want your website sounding like a robot wrote everything.
And Unlimited Visitors actually addresses that. They emphasize that there's a human element involved as well.
Oh, okay, good. So it's
Yeah.
not all just algorithms.
Their team supposedly reviews all the AI-generated content, to make sure it's high quality, that there aren't any glaring errors, and that it aligns with your brand voice.
That's reassuring to hear there's some human oversight involved.
Because, AI can do some amazing things, but it still needs that human touch to polish things up, add a bit of personality.
Totally. So they're trying to balance the efficiency of AI with the creativity and nuance that only a human can bring.
Right. But let's say, you've got all this great content rolling in. How do you actually capture those visitors? How do you turn them into leads?
That's where the rubber meets the road, right?
And Unlimited Visitors has a whole bunch of tools for that. They don't mess around.
From what you've gathered, it's like a multi-pronged approach.
We're talking like exit pop-ups, those things that pop up when you're about to leave a website. Then there are in-article banners, and even, get this, AI-powered chat bots.
Oh, wow. So they're really trying to engage visitors at every turn.
And it's all about collecting that valuable information. Emails, phone numbers, the stuff that turns a visitor into a potential customer.
And you mentioned they integrate with those popular CRM platforms like HubSpot.
Ah, yeah. And for those who might not be familiar with that term, a CRM, or customer relationship management platform, is basically a system for organizing and managing all your interactions with customers and leads.
So it's not just capturing leads, but actually nurturing those relationships.
And they can do that through various channels, too, like email campaigns, SMS messages, even WhatsApp.
So they've built this whole ecosystem to handle everything from content creation to lead capture and conversion.
And they even have a tool to track your website's keyword rankings on Google.
Oh, that's cool. So you can see how you're actually moving up in the search results.
It's called their position tracking tool, and it gives you real-time notifications about any changes. Plus, you can see your historical data.
That's a good way to, to hold them accountable, to see if their efforts are actually making a difference.
And if you're not a data whiz, someone who loves digging through Google Analytics, they've got you covered with their own dashboard.
Makes it easy to digest all that information, even if you're not super tech savvy.
It tracks everything.
Yeah.
How many visitors are getting, where they're coming from, what devices they're using, lead conversion rates, all those key performance indicators, or KPIs as the cool kids call them.
So it's like a one-stop shop for monitoring your website's performance.
But all this, all this sophistication doesn't come free.
Of course. Got to keep the lights on somehow, right?
They have both monthly and yearly subscription plans, with a potential discount if you commit to a year.
Standard practice for a lot of these SaaS companies, software as a service.
Yeah, they want to lock you in for the long haul. But as always, the price tag is only one piece of the puzzle. We have to understand what each plan actually gets you. How many articles are included, what level of branding, what features are you getting?
Right. It's about the value proposition, not just the sticker price.
And to highlight that value, Unlimited Visitors provides a handy comparison table.
Oh, I saw that.
It basically pits their service against all the traditional methods, like Google Ads, hiring an SEO agency, or doing everything yourself.
And they don't shy away from bold claims, do they?
They claim to be 10 to 100 times more cost-effective than those other options.
10 to 100 times. That's a pretty wide range.
Yeah, and they say they're faster to set up, you get human support, and the traffic keeps coming even after you stop paying.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
And, maybe it is or maybe it isn't. But we have to remember, we're looking at marketing material. It's designed to, to paint their service in the best possible light.
So we have to dig deeper, look beyond the hype, and see if those claims actually hold up.
Exactly. Now, there's another element. They play up quite a bit: social proof.
Ah, yes. The testimonials.
Their website is packed with glowing reviews from all sorts of companies.
People raving about how Unlimited Visitors transformed their website traffic, boosted their sales, all that jazz.
And it's impressive. It really is. But the question is, how much weight should we give these testimonials?
It's a valid question. We don't know who wrote them, why they were chosen to be featured.
Right. It's easy to cherry pick the most positive reviews and leave out the negative ones.
And then there's the whole affiliate program thing, which adds another layer of complexity.
Oh, yeah. They offer a 50% commission on every sale, plus recurring income potential for affiliates.
Wow. 50%, that's pretty generous.
It is, and it makes you wonder if some of those glowing testimonials are, influenced by those financial incentives.
Are they truly satisfied customers, or are they just trying to earn a commission? Something to keep in mind as we evaluate these claims.
Definitely something to consider. We've covered a lot of ground already, the tech, the pricing, the claims of cost effectiveness, but we haven't even touched on the biggest elephant in the room.
You mean the whole AI content thing?
Exactly. That's where the real debate begins.
Right. Like, is Google going to penalize websites that use AI-generated content? Can it even be detected? And will it actually be effective in the long run?
These are all valid concerns, and Unlimited Visitors tries to address them, in their FAQs and marketing materials.
I noticed that they're pretty confident in their approach.
They claim that current AI detection tools are unreliable and that Google doesn't inherently penalize AI content as long as it meets their quality standards.
And to be fair, they do have a point there. Google has said that user experience is their top priority.
Yeah, they want to make sure people are finding valuable, relevant content when they search.
So Unlimited Visitors is arguing that if AI can produce that kind of content, then Google won't care how it was created.
But, Google's algorithms are constantly evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow.
Right, and there's no guarantee that Google won't eventually crack down on AI content, especially if it starts flooding the internet.
It's a gamble, for sure. And it raises another question, like, even if Google doesn't penalize it, could AI content still have negative consequences for a website?
We've got to consider the bigger picture here, not just what Google thinks, but also how real people respond to AI-generated content.
So we've done a good job, I think, of unpacking the marketing claims, analyzing the potential pitfalls, and starting to think about the bigger strategic questions.
Agreed. We've laid a good foundation.
And now it's up to you, dear listener, to decide if Unlimited Visitors is the right fit for your needs and goals.
We've given you the information, the tools to think critically. Now it's time to apply that to your specific situation.
And remember, there's no magic bullet in SEO. It's about finding what works for you, what aligns with your long-term vision.
And we'll continue this conversation in the next part of our deep dive, exploring even more nuances and digging deeper into those FAQs.
So stay tuned.
Before we get too deep into the weeds here,
Hmm.
I think it's worth taking a step back and asking ourselves, like, if Unlimited Visitors is really this amazing, low-cost, high-traffic, all-on autopilot solution.
The SEO silver bullet, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If it's that good, why isn't everyone using it?
That's a great point. It does make you think, right? If it were that simple, wouldn't every website out there be drowning in organic traffic?
Right, there has to be more to the story, right? There are always factors beyond the shiny marketing that we need to consider. What are the potential downsides, the hidden costs, things that Unlimited Visitors might not be shouting from the rooftops?
Okay, I'm game. Let's play devil's advocate here. First up, that heavy reliance on AI. Even if Google doesn't penalize AI-generated content right now, what about in a year, 5 years?
You're hitting on a crucial point. The SEO landscape is it's constantly shifting. What's acceptable today could be a liability tomorrow.
So putting all your eggs in the AI basket could be risky.
Especially if you're building your entire strategy around a technology that could be subject to these algorithmic whims. Google could change the rules of the game at any moment.
And even if, let's say, even if the AI content manages to rank well in the search results, will it actually resonate with real people? Can AI really capture that nuance, that personality, that brand voice? The stuff that actually turns visitors into loyal customers.
That's where the human element comes in, right? Remember, Unlimited Visitors emphasizes that their team reviews and refines all the AI output.
True, but to what extent? Are they just doing basic proofreading? Or are they actually crafting, engaging high-quality content that truly reflects a brand's unique identity?
And how scalable is their human team? If they're handling content for, hundreds or thousands of clients, can they really maintain that level of quality and attention to detail for each one?
That's a good question because mass production often leads to a decline in quality, right? It's like the more you try to do, the less attention you can give to each individual piece.
Exactly. And Unlimited Visitors needs to demonstrate that their human oversight can keep pace with their AI's output without, sacrificing the individuality of each client's content.
Okay, so the reliance on AI and the level of human involvement are definitely key factors to scrutinize. What other potential pitfalls should we be aware of?
Well, let's talk about competition. Imagine this. Unlimited visitors takes off, and everyone in your industry starts using their service. Suddenly, the internet is flooded with AI-generated blog posts, all targeting the same keywords.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a scary thought. Wouldn't that make it even harder to stand out from the crowd?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
creates this SEO arms race where the advantage goes to whoever invests the most or whoever finds, creative ways to differentiate their content beyond just basic keyword optimization.
So relying solely on unlimited visitors could actually backfire in the long run.
It's a real possibility. It becomes this race to the bottom where everyone's using the same tools, the same tactics, and it becomes harder and harder to carve out your own space online.
And it raises another crucial question. What happens when you stop using the service?
Right. What if you decide to go back to writing your own content or hire a human writer? Does all that AI generated traffic just vanish?
Yeah, because they're claiming that the traffic might decline over time, but that, Google prioritizes good content regardless of its origin. But that feels a bit vague, doesn't it?
It doesn't exactly inspire confidence, does it? It makes you wonder if the AI content is just a short-term traffic boost,
Yeah.
something that doesn't really contribute to building a lasting, sustainable online presence.
Like if the AI stops creating new content, wouldn't Google eventually deprioritize those older articles,
Right.
leading to a drop in rankings and traffic?
It's definitely a plausible scenario,
Mm.
and it highlights the importance of diversifying your traffic sources.
Mm.
Organic search from Google is great, but so is traffic from social media, email marketing, paid advertising, direct referrals.
So unlimited visitors could be one piece of the puzzle, but it shouldn't be the whole foundation of your online strategy.
It's like any tool,
Mm.
powerful when used strategically, but potentially detrimental if it becomes a crutch.
Right. You don't want to become too reliant on any one thing, especially something that you don't have, complete control over.
And that's what we've been talking about this whole time, right? It's not just about whether unlimited visitors works in the short term. It's about whether it aligns with your long-term goals, your budget, your brand identity, your risk tolerance.
It's about making an informed decision, one that considers both the potential benefits and the potential drawbacks.
And understanding that SEO is not a one-size-fits-all game.
Mm-hmm.
What works for one business might not work for another.
I'm starting to get the bigger picture here. It's not just about the technology. It's about strategy, about making smart choices that align with your overall business goals.
You've got it. And now it's time to apply this knowledge to your specific situation. Let's dive into those unlimited visitors FAQs you've gathered and see if we can glean any further insights.
All right, let's dive into these FAQs and see if there are any hidden gems we can unearth.
It's amazing what you can find buried in the fine print sometimes.
Okay, this one jumped out at me right away. It's about publishing frequency. Unlimited Visitor says their data suggests that publishing more than one article per day doesn't necessarily lead to like a huge increase in traffic.
Interesting. So there's a point of diminishing returns, basically.
Yeah, it's not just about churning out content, it's about quality over quantity. And it also makes me think about, what happens after you stop using their service. They say the traffic might decline, but that Google cares about good content, regardless of who created it.
It's a bit of a sidestep, don't you think? Like they're acknowledging that the traffic boost might not be permanent.
Right. It reinforces what we were talking about earlier, building a sustainable SEO strategy that doesn't rely solely on AI-generated content. This section on AI detection is interesting too. They say that current tools aren't reliable and that Google doesn't penalize AI content as long as it meets their quality standards.
They're sticking to their guns on that point. And to be fair, Google has said that they prioritize high-quality content regardless of how it's created.
But we also know that Google's algorithms are always evolving, and what's okay today could be a problem tomorrow.
Right. And Google has a vested interest in promoting human-created content because that's makes their search engine valuable, ultimately.
If the web becomes flooded with indistinguishable AI-generated content, it's not a good experience for users.
Exactly. It undermines the whole point of search.
So unlimited visitors might be playing by the rules right now, but those rules could change. Using AI content could be a risky bet in the long run.
It's a gamble, that's for sure. And speaking of bets, let's revisit their claim about cost effectiveness. They say their service can be 10 to 100 times cheaper than traditional ads or SEO agencies.
Yeah, those numbers are pretty eye-popping. But again, we have to be careful about how they're making that comparison.
Are they factoring in all the variables? What about the value of your time? Even if the service itself is cheaper, if you're constantly, you know, tweaking settings, reviewing content, managing campaigns, it's still an investment.
Right. Automation can save you time, but it doesn't eliminate the need for human oversight.
And what about the opportunity cost? While you're focused on managing this automated system, are you neglecting other parts of your business that might be more profitable?
It's a good point. There's always a trade-off. Okay, last but not least, this one made me laugh. They have an FAQ that asks, why the name Unlimited Visitors? And their answer is, it's a mystery.
Well, that's one way to create intrigue, I guess.
Maybe they're hoping the name will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I think we've gone beyond the surface-level mystery here, haven't we? We've really dug into what Unlimited Visitors is all about.
We've explored their promises, analyzed their methods, considered the risks and rewards. Now it's up to you, the listener, to decide if this service is right for you.
If you're looking for a quick and potentially cost-effective way to boost your website traffic, Unlimited Visitors might be worth checking out. But remember, there's no magic bullet in SEO.
Building a sustainable online presence takes time, effort, and a deep understanding of how search engines work.
Don't get caught up in the hype. Do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and most importantly, trust your gut.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works best for your unique situation.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Unlimited Visitors. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little bit entertaining.
And remember, the journey to SEO success is ongoing. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep experimenting.
Until next time.